Right.
Started, sir.
Very good morning to one and all. We are here with our successful J.N.N Rise Script Your Success Talk Series 2. The topic here is Rise with Cash and Pink. So we welcome you all on behalf of J.N.N Arts and Science, Institute of Engineering, as well as RIPE Consulting Services. I hand over the session to our CEO, Dr. V. Vijayanand Sriram, who is the CEO of two companies, RIPE Consulting Services Private Limited and also Cogates Technologies. Thank you one and all for participating in this tech seminar series. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, and welcome back again for the talk series 2, Your Success. And I will start with a quote that made me to think a lot. I hope this quote will also enlighten all of you. The illiterates of 21st century are not people those who cannot read and write, but people who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn, says Alvin Toffler. Today, J.N.N Rise, Script Your Success, Students Competence Enhancement Industry Readiness Seminar, Talk Series number 2. We have an interesting, experienced, and exciting speaker, Dr. Mahesh Pavan Sathavalli. We welcome you, Mahesh. Series. We have our team members of J.N.N, Principal Dr. Rajalakshmi, Professor Sitaraman, RIPE team, Prabha, Senior Consultant, and the Event Project Manager. And I am Dr. Sriram, CEO and CS of RIPE and Cogates. I have the privilege of introducing Dr. Mahesh Pavan Sathavalli, an alumni IIM Ahmedabad, doctorate from Sri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Vishwa Mahavidyalaya, Kanchipuram, project manager, IBM India Pvt Ltd. Dr. Mahesh Pavan is a rural marketing enthusiast who has done a lot of program in educating farmers about the importance of rural marketing. Hats off to you, Mahesh, for that. He is also a Corona warrior who has done a lot of service activities during COVID pandemic times. Dr. Mahesh Pavan is certified in ITIL V3, Prince 2. He is a certified Scrum Master and he is certified in Google AdWords. With respect to his technical skills, he is certified in Goldmine and Salesforce. The topic he has chosen to interact with the students community today is Rise with Cash and PINC. J.N.N Rise, Script Your Success, talks 10 weeks, 10 speakers, one goal to make the students industry ready. We welcome you, Mahesh Pavan, and over to you.
Thank you, Vijay. Thank you, J.N.N Engineering College Principal, Ma'am, faculty, students, for inviting me to speak with you. And it's a pleasure meeting all of you guys. And as Vijay said, we have been in IT industry for almost 15 years, and prior to that, working in other education industry and retail industry. So it's a bit of a lot of learning, unlearning, and relearning that has happened in the journey of this 18 to 19 years of the career, and that's where we are. And we have to be very, very careful. We have to take a very careful steps while moving from one job to other or one role to other. That is where we are as of today. And the industry is actually moving very fast, and there are a lot of new technologies that are coming up, and we have to be industry ready so that we can sustain in the market, either with a job or with our own entrepreneurial journeys, right? So with that, we will start our session, and I would like to share my screen, sir. Can I share my screen?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah. Hope it's visible now. Vijay, is it visible?
Yes, visible.
Okay, good. Thank you. So let's start with the today's topic with rise with cash and ping. So there is a meaning behind this cash and ping, and we will come to that in a minute. So let's start with a small story. So there is a small boy where he used to go to school every day in a horse cart, right? So we call it as a jet car. The boy used to. There's a lot of echo, background noise. Can someone go on mute, please? Yeah. There's a small boy who goes to school in a jet car every day, and the teacher in the school asked the boy, "What do you want to become?" The boy said, "I want to become uh, a jet car rider." Right, and the all the students and the teacher also laughed at them, and and the teacher encouraged the boy and to do well in the academics. So the boy is doing very well in the academics and studies as well. When he goes to his house, his father also asked the same thing. So even the father patted at him, laughed at him, and didn't say anything. When the mother also asked the same thing, the boy said the same. So then the mother took the boy to the puja room and showed the horses that Lord Sri Krishna is riding, right? So she showed the photo of Lord Krishna, where you see in house the Bhagavad Gita, right? So where Krishna will be at the back and Krishna will be at the front, and Arjuna will be in the back, right? So she said you should be a rider like Sri Krishna, right? That's where that the boy is none other than Swami Vivekananda. That's how the knowledge comes from, and then that's how the positive vibes come from. That's how the positive thinking comes from, right? So the inspiration to Swami Vivekananda is his own mother, right? So let's salute all our mothers in this particular meeting wherever we are. So let's pay respects to our mother, and that's where we wanted to start, right? So knowledge comes from at home. Knowledge is residing at home. So we all have to abide to whatever that our parents say. That is where the story line comes from, right? Let's see why we say this particular story, because now we all compare ourselves with others in a day-to-day life. Especially we compare with our friends, we compare with our brothers and sisters at home, because they are doing this, they are doing that, they are getting jobs, and we are not getting other, we are not getting the right jobs at the right time. But there is a lot of transformation that happens. Say for example, in this particular slide, a fly and a butterfly, right? It's only the name changes, but there are a lot of other things that changes in the transformation, right? So both are born for a different purpose, but a fly cannot become a butterfly just by adding a butter, right? This is what I have learned from my last 3 4 years of experience. Especially, there is no way that you can compare. You have your own knowledge, you have your own skills, you have your own attitudes and habits that you need to inculcate, you need to improve upon, so that you can become a better person. That is how it is actually, right? So now let's see what we are actually going to do in the next 1 hour of the session. What is that we are going to do it now? Let's see that to achieve a success, right? But particularly there is no definition for success. But if you want to achieve a particular goal or a success, you need to have a lot of knowledge, you need to be sincere enough, you should be hardworking, humility. So only then you can reach a particular goal. Like, see, you are actually seeing a photograph there, right? So if you want to go for a trekking, if you want to climb a mountain, right, so there'll be a lot of hurdles, right? So you need to be very careful, and you should not have you have ego, you should not have jealousy, you should not have a cheating mentality, you should remove all your laziness, right? So that is where you reach to the particular goal, right? Coming on to the next one, the success is not an easy task, the success is not an end, right? Now you keep doing mistakes, you hear failures or you encounter failures, so people reject you at many point of the times. You might be rejected in 10 interviews or 15 interviews, and then you'll get into a job after that, right? So people start an entrepreneurship, they start their own business, and they see a lot of rejections, failures for some time, but they learn from the mistakes, and then they will move on to the next level, right? So slowly they will see an improvement in the business and the profits in the business, right? So you will be insulted. So you, many times we hear that in our houses, in our house, and especially from our parents or from our siblings, especially brothers and sisters, that the next boy, a girl or boy, the next house boy or girl uh, has got a good job and they are getting a good salary, why are you not getting, right? So it's not a right way of comparing, but we always do that. But everyone has his own path, everyone has his own journey. In this particular context, what is more important here is that you need to be very very careful in terms of what we are doing, what we are not doing, what needs to be done, what do not needs to be done, and other things, right? In this particular world of digital world especially, we have lot and lot of data that is available in the market. So we hear from our teachers, we hear from our parents, we read it from books, we have it many things in Google, and we have a lot of other friends who share the information as well, right? So what is exactly the difference between all these things, right? So whatever that comes to us, right, that's a data. That is, whatever that you read is a data. Just I'm giving an example, right? So now when the data is being clubbed, or when the data is being clustered or when the data has been put into different parts, that is where the information is about, right? When you connect all this information, which is relevant, which is not relevant, which is linked, which is correlated, that is where the knowledge comes from, right? Coming on to this, the next final thing, the way how you utilize your knowledge, the way how you maintain your knowledge, the way how you link your knowledge to the various aspects of your life or studies, or linking your knowledge to the job, that is where your creativity comes into picture, right? So there is a lot of transformation that happens in a person, or when we move from a knowledge, the data gathering, to the implementation of the data gathering to the creativity. That is where you see the success, that is where you see the results, right? So everyone of us here in this forum have lot of data, but we need to go on to the next level, utilize it in a proper way, and make it available to everyone. And that is where the creativity should be visible, creativity should be helpful to others, right? So we should not misuse that. That is where the life comes, that is where the life of the student comes from especially, right? That is where you will actually become a responsible citizen to the country, you actually become a responsible person in the family, right? Any questions here? Any questions, please?
We will take the questions at the
Right.
end.
Okay. Okay. Right. Cool. Yeah. So coming on to the next one, right? The next important thing that I wanted to highlight is we all were more curious about what is cash, right? Now, here we are. Cash is the simple acronym of knowledge, skills, attitudes, and habits. Now, what is that? The knowledge and skills are the external to a particular person, where the knowledge comes from the teachers, the knowledge comes from the way the books that what we learn, and the knowledge comes from the outside world especially, which is completely outside. So knowledge is where we are aware of something, we learn something, we relearn something, right? But the skills, we acquire some skills like the technical skills like a Java or a communication skills, right? Or the further skills that we need to improve upon, right? The job skills especially. Now, the attitude and the habits are internal to a person. These are closely related to us. These are completely in our hands. These are completely in our control, right? The feelings, emotions, the beliefs, values are the attitudes. The way how you respond to a particular scenario or the way how you respond to a particular person is a habit, right? The entire studies, whether it's an arts and science or an engineering or a management studies, it's completely the knowledge, right? So whatever the subjects that you study are based on the knowledge, the skills that you develop upon, right? The programming skills, the entrepreneurship skills. So these are completely the external. You see from others, you learn it, or you acquire it. So this is where every one of us will start, right? So right from LKG to the engineering or to our degree, what is the knowledge that we are gaining as a part of our studies? What are the skills that we are improving upon, right? So we know that we are not good in communication skills. What is that you are improving upon? What is the extra effort that you are putting to improve your skills, right? So this is more of the left hand side is more of the external. The right hand side, that the attitude and habits that you are seeing, is more of the internal, right? Now, coming on to the next one, this is what I call it as a pink: the public speaking skills, the interpersonal skills, the negotiation skills, and the communication skills. So if you link these two, right, especially the pink, that what we are talking about, so these are all the skills that we need to improve upon. We need to help others. We need to if you want to improve in your business, you need to change the way, or you need to change your attitude. You need to change the way how you speak, how you act, how you think, right? So it's all depends upon the social skills. This will become a part of your success in your day-to-day life. Now, if you see the next one, this is where the cash and pink are being integrated, correlated. So when you talk about cash and pink here, everything is related to each other. Everything is interrelated. Everything is correlated. We are just trying to put the map in the mind that this is where it is, but that this might change from one place to other place, right? So the public speaking cannot only be restricting only to knowledge and attitude, right? So this all changes from one place to other place. At times your attitude and habits are revealed in the way how you talk, or the way how you interact with others, right? The skills and habits will be revealed where during the interview sessions, right? So this is where you have to be very careful, and both the engineering and the non-engineering students also should focus more on both the cash and as well as pink. That is where you see the success in at the early stage. That is, you don't need to take a break, or you don't need to go an extra 1 year or 6 months of training after your graduation. And then you, right from today, you need to put into practice that where am I lagging? Am I lagging in the communication skills? Am I lagging in any other interpersonal skills? Am I lagging in the negotiation skills? Or do I need more knowledge, or do I need to acquire more skills, right? So do I need to learn new language like an SQL or a Python, or in R, right? So do I need to learn more skills which is coming into the market, right? So you need to be ready for a particular interview. You need to work upon both the soft skills and as well as the hard skills. The hard skills, that what I mean is the coding language especially, right? Or the subject where you are, whether it might be accounts or a marketing or a HR, right? So these are the hard skills. So you need to balance between both these and then move forward, and then plan it accordingly. Now, what's in it for me? What do you want to do now? So you will have a lot of pressure from your parents, from friends, from siblings, from teachers and everyone. So you need to have an achievable goal. You need to make your mind very positive, and uh, don't get into a stress when you see a failure, right? So there is no success without a failure, or there will always be a good learning from a failures, right? So every one of us would have failed, or every family would have seen a failure person, but it is not the end. So they improve upon, they learn from it, and they move on, right? So that is how the life and career will happen to everyone. So you need to be perseverant, you need to have a particular goal in and then work upon it. And at one point of the other in your day-to-day life or in your career, you need to take a calculative risk, right? So just taking a risk will not help you. It's a calculated risk is what we call it. So if I'm taking a particular step, there might be a risk and I'm okay to take it, right? So generally the students, immediately after their education between 21 to 25, they are open to take a risk, they are open to take a break for 1 year and then read, learn, and then go for a job ready for it, right? But many of us will not be in a position to take a risk after 30 years because of the family and all the other reasons. So you feel a lot of stress, you feel pressure, you feel depressed many times that you are not able to achieve, you are not able to get a job, you are not able to get it, right? That's all okay, fine. No need to worry about it. The way you put yourself into more stress and depression, you are going backwards towards it, right? So you're not going to achieve it. Don't think about whatever that has happened in terms of the failure or the depression, right? So think what is next to you, what are the positives that you have compared to the negatives, right? So think, build upon your positives, build upon your strengths, and then move on, right? Yeah. Any questions here? Right. Yeah. So going on to the next one, that is where we see we see a lot of such kind of things in WhatsApp or in Google. Especially there are some new products that comes into the market, but these are not a successful products, right? So they thought of to find something new, introduce something new, and then it's a new innovation in the market. So the all new innovations are not commercialized or not successful, right? So the invention has to be commercialized, it has to have a price, it has to have a marketing strategy. You need to sell the product in the market, only then you can be able to sell only then you'll be able to see the profits, right? That is where you see 1,000 products in the market, all 1,000 are not successful products, right? All 1,000 we are not be using it, we might be using only some tens and not even hundreds there, right? Now, coming up on to the next one. These are all the funny products that are being there in the market or manufactured at one point of the time or the other, but you might not see it as a mass production because it's not useful. It's not been used by many people now, right? You might experience some of these things here and there just as a part of the passion, but not on a daily basis. Hope you are all able to recollect or to correlate to our day-to-day experiences, right? But at the end of the day, what really matters is what what all these most innovative products follow, right? Whatever it may be, the new product that is coming up into the market, whether it's a smart TV or a smartphone or an air cooler or any other thing that you see in the market, right? So you might experience with these particular five kind of things. That is whether eliminating some components in a product and then launch it, or it's a task unification, that is with all the existing resources and facilities, they combine everything, or the multiplication of it, that is mixing of multiple things into one particular product, or a division of it. You give one functionality of it. And the final one is the attribute dependency, that is you remove some things, you create something extra to that, add a flavor to it, and then introduce to the market. You see these kind of things, especially in the automobile sector, especially in the cars or two wheelers, right? So a particular car is a failure in the market, or a particular bike or a scooter is failure in the market, but they add new features or they remove the old features which are not liked by the customers, and then they keep introducing it to that, right? And especially if you see some of the electrical items, let's say for example like air coolers or TVs, right? So the more Previously, like 15, 20 years back, we all used to have a different CRT monitors, but now from there we moved to a different kind of TVs, and now we are in LED and LCDs, and from there we are also using the smart TVs where your TV can have Skype calls. Your TV can be used for an YouTube and or Netflix and other things, right? The same way the your mobile phones as well. Previously, we used to have our keypads, but now we used to have the smartphones, the touch phones. The internet facility has completely changed from a normal 2G, 3G. Now we are entering into the 5G as well, right? So these are all the innovative products that actually follow with the five different patterns and in the market. That is where these are all solving the problems, right? So at one point of the time, I'm here. I'm using a particular car now, but my car, whenever there might be a possibility of the accident, so we need to have an airbags. Now the government has mandated the airbags for both the front seats, right? So that is how a new concept will evolve. A new thing will evolve in the market, right? It's all about the solving problems. Whether take any product, any service, it's all about the solving the problems, right? Whether you open an account, previously we used to go to your bank and then we used to open an account, but now we used to go to a bank and then withdraw the amount. We used to go to an ATM and then withdraw the amount, but now we have various apps, right, where we don't need to we don't need to withdraw the amount. We can only directly transfer from one account to other account. So these are all the problem solving business techniques, right? When it comes to the engineering discipline of future, so we are slowly moving we are slowly moving from one area to other area with a multidisciplinary, like where people say that the civil engineering, the electronics and communications, and computers or mechanical are completely different, right? So they work in a different silos. At one point of the time, like between 2000 and 2015 especially, so these are all started overlapping each other, right? So multiple functionalities come together and working on it. And now the transdisciplinary is where all people are able to acquire all the skills, right? So say for example, the mechanical engineering graduate is also trying to learn some new technology, like the new skills, acquiring new skills, like the ProE answers, which is a part of the their core thing, but it's completely into the software, right? They are also learning new thing, new skills like R or Python, especially which are used for the data analytics, right? So this is how the things are changing now. Business accounts, business, so everything has its own data analytics software. We all say, for example, to start with, we use Excel for just a data visualization. From there we have many other data visualization tools, right? So we use all these multidisciplinary is what we call it out, right? A person who is passing out with a BBA or a BBM or MBA, he doesn't need he is not able, he cannot sustain in the market only with one business skills, right? So he also need to have a bit of the software skills, especially one or the other tool, right? So like MS Office or Tally or any other like ERP or a CRM, how it actually works in the organization. That is where the transdisciplinary comes into the picture, right? Any questions here? Now, there are a lot of factors that are influencing in creation or discovery of the new opportunities in the market. That is where the market and the competencies in the market are coming up and opening up of a new opportunities, right? So that is where the new products come into the market, new innovations comes into the market. We are able to see all this, we are able to experiment and then use all the new products, and of course we are also creating some new products for the market, right? This all comes up with a different with a different package as such, like an education, the knowledge, where you meet some people, you get some ideas over there, you try to implement it, so you all put that into your experience and expertise, and then these are the things that comes up as an opportunities to us. Now, hope you're all able to see my screen, and I see a girl in this particular pic, but some people might see it in a different way. A man might be using a saxophone for this. right? It's all the way how you think. It's all the way how your mind is thinking at this particular point of the time, right? But everything what you see might have a different face and the other side of the coin as well. Now you see a different pic over here. I see an old woman in this, but the other people might be seeing an young woman who is turning on to the other side, right? Now, this is where we all might be experiencing it, especially the faculty over here or many of the students would be experiencing this, right? So if we might be in a comfort zone as of today, we say that we are safe, we are in control, we are getting a good salary, and I don't have any other commitments as of now. I'm getting like 25,000 or I'm getting 30,000 of salary, or I'm getting 80% of the marks. I'm fine with it, and I read in the same manner, or I have the same timetable to get 80%. Right? That's not enough for the future. Right? When we start getting the less marks, that's where we get into a fear zone, right? So we lack self confidence, we are not able to talk before the people, we are not able to crack the interviews or select in the interviews, right? From there, when you have this fear in your mind and heart, that's where the clock ticks. That's where you need to get into the next level. That is where you see what are your challenges, you analyze what are the problems that you are facing on a day to day basis. Then from there, you try to learn new things, you acquire new skills. That is where you extend your comfort zone, right? So you think that I'm getting 80% marks as of today, and I need to get into 85% or 90%, because the cutoff marks for some of the jobs especially is above 80%, for some of the companies is 80%, right? So to get into that, I have to study more time, I have to study in a different way. So the way how I read have to change, the timetable has to be changed, the way how I think should be changed. That means you need to put an extra effort, right? That is where the learning zone comes into picture, right? So many of our faculty also would be doing that, right? So as soon as their graduation or post graduation, they might enter into the teaching field, but that's not enough. We try to apply for an MPhil or a PhD, or we read more to pass a net or SLET examination. That's where the learning zone comes into picture. Once you are there, that is where you enter into the growth zone. So the completion of a one certification or getting up to the more marks or more good percentage will put you into an edge, right? So you might be you might be in a 100 people cart where the 100 students are getting around 80%, but from there you might be moving up to the next level where only 20 students or 30 people might have only the 80% or more than 85%. That is where you have an edge, right? You have more opportunities to get into your job early because you got more than 80% of the marks, right? That is where you see the growth zone, you see a success there. You get into your job early at the early stages itself, or at the early age, or we might get into your job and where no one were able to get it, right? This is where you need to move out from your comfort zone at any point of the time, and then start experiencing, start learning new things. That is how the success can be measured, right? So the success is not one thing where you do it daily the same thing, right? So you do a different thing, you encounter a new problem, you encounter a new issue, encounter a new task, take up the new task, face the challenge, face the task, and then you learn it, and then you implement it, and that's where you see the success, right? We all have experienced it. We might have seen our brothers and sisters, we might have seen our parents who especially are in the jobs or in the businesses, right? So they might be doing in the same thing for last 5-10 years, but they also wanted to move to the next level, and then they would have taken a risk in their life, and then they are in the growth zone especially, right? So where are these behaviors can be developed, right? So this is only available in three areas, especially the education, the experience what you have, and especially the practice. So all things are actually focused on people, the planet, the profit, and partnership. These are all the four pieces that what we call about. So everything revolves around a person, right? If you want to study well, it's an education. If you want to get a good name and the see the success, it comes from the experience, right? So the practice and hard work should also be a part of it, right? So it's all depends on the attitude and the habits that what you develop. That is where you see that in your in your daily life as well. We all see four shades of people especially. So w- w- I will do is what some people think, and that is where you see the success at an early age. I can do is what they are motivated, they are encouraging people, and some people think that I can't do it. So they have to evaluate themselves why I can't do it, right? So there is nothing that I can't. If I have to do it, I have to do it, right? If I have to read it, I have to read it. There is no other option for us. And if I won't do it, no, there is nothing called as I won't do it, right? So you have to eliminate the word called as won't do. Everything is possible, everything can be achievable, but you need to have a proper plan. You need to have a proper timetable for it. You need to practice it, you need to follow that, and you need to implement it. That is where we see the four shades of people moving from one category to other category many times, right? So we see a lot of the ideas that starts from, and we try to solve the many problems which are around us, and then the practice makes you perfect. So that is where we call it as practice makes the man perfect, right? So when we don't practice, we are stressed, we feel depressed, right? From there, the more you practice it, the more you become successful, right? So now what's next for us now? What's next is more in terms of gaining a competitive advantage, whether it's an organization or whether it's an individual, right? So we always link our individual success to the organization where we work, or the organization where we are, or what we started. That means either an entrepreneurial journey, right? Let's see what are the things that what we can do as an individual and how it is actually impacting on it, right? Now, in the current scenario of the market, everything is digital, everything is digitalized. Now, what are the things that are being digitalized in the business? We see the impact of it, or we experience the digitalization, especially in the mobile technologies, the cloud, the social media, the consumer friendly IT applications that we use for a daily basis, and analytics, right? Everything is numbers now. People should not speak, the data should speak. That is where the analytics comes into picture. These are the number of people who got jobs, these are the number of students who got right marks, these are the number of students who got placement from our college, right? So whether it's this is the a salary that I'm getting, like 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs per annum. So everything is numbers, everything is data here, right? So without data, even if you talk on air, no one believes you, right? So we are here to show the progress to ourselves, not to the world. We are not here to listen to the stories or to tell the stories, right? That is where the entire business has been getting digitalized. Many things in the past were not digitalized, it was not connected either, but now everything is getting connected. From there, we see in a different way. We are experiencing a different kind of consumer friendly applications that we are seeing now. Let's see what are the things that are changing in the rural areas especially, right? So everything in the rural areas, especially in India, in the last 5 to 8 years have been changing in terms of the businesses, in terms of the way how people use IT. IT is not only in terms of the mobile usage, or usage of Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, right? So there are many things that are actually changing over there, right? So people are trying to access the digital points in the rural areas, and they are trying to digitalize some of the things, some of the areas in the rural places especially. So people are using pay by cash to pay using the mobile applications, and the transfer of money is majority of the things in the rural places are happening through the mobile applications, either like GPay or phone pay. right? And people are also, and the reach of the especially the Amazon or a Flipkart has been extended to the remote villages as well now, right? So people are not going to the nearby towns to purchase some of the products, right? So they are ordering it in online. And these companies are solving the last mile problems. The last mile problem is where even a remote place or a remote village should also be able to use the same benefits or take the same benefits of some of the products, right? Now, from there, the trust and after sales are also been happening. That is the customer care or the service is being provided even to the remote places as well. So previously, like at least like 20 or 25 years back, if we got any a TV repair or a refrigerator repair, right? So we used to take that TV or a fridge to the nearest place and then get it repaired. But now we are able to call our customer care, and the customer care guys are coming to our house and doing the repairs even at the tier 3 and tier 4 towns as well, right? So they are trying to build the customer loyalty. This is more in terms of the digitalization that we are seeing up in the rural areas, right? So previously we used to have, especially in Tamil Nadu and Andhra, and even in Karnataka, we have seen that change in the trend, especially, right? So we used to go and stand in the queue and then pay all our bills, especially the water bills or the panchayat bills or the electricity bills, right? But now the government have their own apps. The people are paying the bills through their apps. They are not going out of the houses as well. They are not standing in the queues, right? So this is, and the second important concept that the governments are taking up is the smart village concept. We all we know about smart home, right? But we, many of us are not aware of the smart villages. So government is trying to create a smart village where a village, most of the functions in a particular village are being digitalized, connected, interconnected, and then provide the benefits to the people of that particular village as well, right? So these are the things that are being changing. The rural entrepreneurs, especially the businessmen, are also using these digital channels, especially creating their own Facebook page, creating their own Twitter and LinkedIn page, and then from there they are going to the next level of promoting their business, or doing their business from the local areas, exporting their products to the various countries is also happening from in the current scenario now, right? I know for a reason that one of the rural woman entrepreneurs, she prepares some handicraft products in a remote village, and then from there she started exporting even to like 4 to 5 different countries currently, and she is earning 25,000 rupees per month. Is only on the handicraft products, handicraft soaps, handicraft jewelry, handicraft purses, and all the other things, right? So there is no short of talent in India. There is no short of talent in, especially in the rural India or in the villages as well. It's all the way how you think, how you wanted to utilize your opportunities. She uses Facebook, she uses Instagram, she promotes or she uploads all the new products into Instagram. She has a WhatsApp groups, and she created her own WhatsApp groups. She send all the new products, whatever that she prepares, to all the customers or to all the contacts in her WhatsApp, and then she is getting orders now, right, from various other countries as well, right? So that is how she is able to make it. And it's not only her, right? So she added another 4 to 5 women along with her. She created her own self-help group, and then she got a funding from government of 3 to 5 lakh rupees as well to improve her business, right? So she's not alone improving, she's making other women also along with her added to her business, and then the whole family condition itself has improved, right? So from where they were earning from a 5,000 rupees to a group of people earning like 30,000 or a 40,000 per month, it's a good change that is happening even in the rural areas as well, right? Any questions over here? Any other questions? Now, going on to the next one. There are various business ideas that we see in our current scenario. These are the industries and the various ideas that comes up every now and then over here. And especially when it comes to the engineering, we all see that, right? So engineering is all about creating something new, doing new research and then taking it to the end, that taking it to the market, right? So whether it's a product or a service, this all falls under the engineering. So many times you see a service, right, especially like a Google Pay or um, uh, Paytm is a kind of service, right? So you see that in terms of the technology, you see that in terms of the software development of this, right? So the research projects, every research project that what we do should be able to hit the market. That is where the success comes into the research and development side. This is a typical example of a closed innovation where you have a lot of very less boundaries, and you need to get into your market with only what you know, right? But there, when your innovation is moving to an area of open innovation, that is where you analyze a lot of opportunities. You think, you consider all the various aspects of it, where you consider all the opportunities that are around you. You include all the friends, you include all your people that you know. That is where the venture fund capitalist comes into picture. People will fund you. You use all your available resources like social media and all the other things to promote your product, right? So from an existing market, you're also trying to enter into a new market. That is where the open innovation comes into, right? The entire engineering education is mainly focused on the open innovation, right? So previously, some time back, at least like 25 to 30 years back, we all used it to be in the closed innovation. We all used to read only what is there in the textbooks. From there, we have moved up to the open innovation. Every student is now supposed to give their own project. They create their own project, right? So it should not be a repetitive. So that is where the open innovation is coming up into whatever that they are learning. They need to show that as a part of their final project, right? So that is where the application of the knowledge comes into picture. Now, what is that we are actually seeing that as a part of the open innovation and closed innovation we are talking about, and the digitalization we are talking about? How are all these things, right? So the knowledge and the pink that what we have heard till now in the last 45 minutes is linked to the business process management, right? So the business process management is more of creating productivity, the efficiency and collaboration between different departments, or collaboration between various people. So these are all the things that you see when you enter into the organization, right? So the simple example here is the HR in an organization should work with the marketing people, and the marketing people should work with the operations people. The operations people should work with the production shop floor, or the engineering team, or the research and development team. That is where an organization comes into picture, right? So you cannot say that I do not have that knowledge after some time. So you need to grab the all the knowledge that is available, and you need to be a part of the success in the organization. So you cannot work as an individual. You cannot work in silos, or your department is not silos, right? A marketing person should be able to understand the technology in it, or the technology person should be able to communicate how we can take it to the market. How is our product different from the other products in the market? How is our service different from the other service providers in the market, right? So that is how you need to be able to project, and then you need to show that this is how the process in the this is how the business process in the organization is different from the others. That is where the organizations are able to see the success, compete in the market, and then going to the next level of the successful organizations, right? So we're coming up onto the core level of the current scenario in the industry, or in the current scenario what we are talking about here. We see that the digitalization in financial services has taken to a different level, or in the last 5 to 7 years especially, right? So shopping, we are with the very less people who are going for shopping, whatever that you are seeing over here, right? So you will be able to correlate. You will have an example, right? So recharging, we used to buy a recharge card, and then we used to recharge it. From there, we are recharging it by phone itself. So utility bills, current bills, or water bills, we are paying it by phone. So travel, so we used to go stand in the queue for booking a rail ticket, and from there we are using various websites to book the tickets, right? So insurance, we are not going to the insurance office at all now. So right, we are buying insurance, we are renewing insurance from home, either for a car, or for a bike, or for a life insurance, or either for a crop insurance, right? So many of the government to consumer services and shopping especially have changed the entire scenario and thinking of and the lifestyle of the people as well, right? And especially the money transfers, the Aadhaar enabled payment systems, the opening of the account. So I already told you all those things, right? So the prepaid cards, the postpaid cards, the credit cards, right? The cash collection, especially everything has been. These are the examples that you are seeing in the financial industry, especially the financial services, right? Everything has gone digital, right? If you see that, what are the things that are going to change and how the new technologies are being seen in the day-to-day financial services especially, right? So you are seeing here from payment services to the communications. So you see there is a lot of changes that technology especially is going to change, right? So we all hear about big data, internet of things, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, right? So even last week one of the speakers have spoken in detail about the cloud technologies, right? So how are these things like especially the augmented reality or virtual reality or the biometric technology? So these are all the things that are related to the in the financial industry, right? So all the payments, all the transactions that you are making, so is going to have all these technologies that you are seeing, right? So there is a lot of improvement, there is a lot of market. It's only that you need to learn new things, right? So if you are able to learn some of these technologies by the time you come out from the college, you do have a ready-made job. There are some websites or portals where you can do some free certifications, especially for the students who are coming out from the college. So as soon as you come out from the college, there is the industry or the companies are not expecting 100% knowledge from you, right? It's a knowledgeable person. They expect the attitude and the mentality of a particular student, and moreover the knowledge and the interest that what he has on a particular subject, right? So if you are having a one certification on a cloud computing or a big data or AR or VR especially, and that's more than enough for you to get into a particular company with that particular skill set, right? So companies are looking out for a people who has some certifications or who has some specific domain knowledge on it, right? Rather than going with a blank mind or a blank empty hands, we should have a specific knowledge and a skill set, and that's where you enter into the market, right? So coming up to the next one, we all see about the technology game changers that we are actually seeing over now, right? So the open API bank, the digital and mobile experiences, the blockchain technology especially is going to make a lot of positive impact, right? So the entire distributed ledger technology, the digital records are being already created, and some of the banks started using that in India as well, right? So the digital currencies, lot many people are not using the currency notes now, right? So we are going with the cashless transactions now, right? So we are using the artificial intelligence, the machine learning and robotics are coming into the picture. That is where the big data and AI, like artificial intelligence, is coming up into the picture now. There are a lot of this is the other insight or visibility of how what are the areas that where we are using these particular things. Yeah, the technology is being used or influencing a lot on the digital services, and let's get on to the next one. Yeah, this is where the ICICI Bank has started developing a concept of blockchain in the entire banking. So, what is a blockchain? So, you all have to read it, right? So, it's not a rocket science to understand all this, right? So, you do have to do your basic understanding of blockchain, and then take it to the next level, right? You can do a small project basing on your college administration or very as a very small concept and try to implement it, right? So that is where you start um, you start learning new things especially, right? So there are a lot of the supply chain management is going to change a lot in the next 5 to 10 years, right? So you have seen a lot of changes in the supply chain market, and that's how the it's been connected now, right? So IoT, like Internet of Things, is being connected to the supply chain, right? So that is how the market is changing. That is how the supply chain market is completely transformed from a nowhere to the current scenario of what is currently happening in a particular store. How much of the stock is being sold? What is the stock that is required to a particular place or a particular store in a particular village or in a particular market? Right. That is how we are able to connect the entire thing. right? So there are a lot of companies where you have opportunities, in, especially in the blockchain, especially in the supply chain management. So some companies started using blockchain as a part of their supply chain management process, and then they are using it in a phase wise. And some companies have already been successful and in implementation of this blockchain, especially in the supply chain management process, right? So these are the companies that we see, right? Now we talk about AI, artificial intelligence, and IoT, and sorry, that's how we see that the especially the robots are being used for ironing or for pressing the clothes or for folding the clothes, right? So there are especially some devices especially built by DRDO and many other organizations of the government organizations, research and development organizations of various countries have developed small robots um, uh, where they can detect the, especially they are using it in the warfare, especially on the IEDs, to find out where these IEDs are being kept for destruction and other things, especially in the anti-terrorism activities. These are being specifically used, right? So we might have seen some of these things in movies, especially, right? But we have seen only in movies, but in a real world scenario, the AI and robotics are being used extensively for anti-terrorism activities and illegal activities, especially they are being spied, and they are being taken a lot of information from this, right? So the technology is being used left and right for identifying some things. That is how the AI and IoT is being used, especially in terms of creating some new devices and then using it. There's a lot of opportunity, especially in the IoT and AI, where artificial intelligence driven, that's been used in the business. It is being used in the marketing of the products and services as well, right? So based on the previous customer pattern, the data is being gathered and then used it on a daily basis. Now we have seen a lot of things, especially the AI, IoT, um, and blockchain, supply chain management, and uh, big data, artificial AR and VR, and all these things. Till now, we all know about all these things, but now, how many of us know about the technology that is happening in the agriculture? How many of us know about how technology is being influenced in the agriculture, and how agriculture can be made better by using technology or by utilizing technology, right? We are still using the same old traditional methods of agriculture in many places, but some of the current uh, uh, youth, right, they are using technology and then using in agriculture and then getting a lot of benefits out of it, right? So let's see what is that it is actually happening. We are seeing that in our day to day life, like a driverless tractor are being developed by some of the companies, right, for plowing, especially in the agriculture scenario, or for transporting the grains from one place to other place in their fields, right? So we are using drones and then trying to see what is the crop and what is the condition of the crops, right? So we are using drones for spraying the pesticides, right? So we have seen all these particular examples, but unless you do it in a large scale, right? So now there are no labor available in the villages, so even the labor who are existing are very very costly, right? So in this particular scenario, the new technology is being used, right? Say for example, we have our mobile phones, or we have our telephones, especially even in some remote areas where we use it for an IV response, like interactive voice response. So the computers and the website are used extensively for having the agriculture information, right? So we are broadcasting some information directly, right? So the live agricultural sessions are happening. The we 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 launch lot of satellites, especially from Shar, Sriharikota, and other places in India. We keep hearing that, right? Every now and then, every month, we use it to see that in newspapers and TVs. What are these satellites used for? So, right, so the satellites are used for to collect the weather, the universal accessibility, and the remote sensing information. What is the weather condition? When it is going to rain? What will be the temperature rise? Right? and the mobiles that are being used and the internet and broadband especially are used for a multiple platforms. So every company now, like say for example Hindustan Unilever or Tata or ITC, they have their own agriculture portals, right? Specifically for the sake of agriculture, they are promoting the agriculture through the online media as well, right? So there are a lot of sensors like that we use it to. Previously, if you want to have a, if you want to calculate or if you want to check the temperature or soil moisturizer or humidity, right? So we used to have do it in a natural way, but now we have sensors where you can insert that in the farm, right, or in the land, and you can monitor it continuously, right? So what is the water condition, what is the soil moisturizer in right, what is the temperature currently in the in outside on a daily basis, right? So the more you water it, what is the soil condition, right? So these are all the things that we are able to that we are able to gather the information from various sensors, right? So let's see how we are actually going to achieve that here, right? Even a 1 degree temperature rise is going to have a major impact on the food grains. The 70% of the rain, the water, the water that is required is directly coming from the monsoon, and where the monsoon season has completely reduced in the last 15 to 20 years due to the pollution. 15% reduction in the annual agricultural income, right? So the farmers are not getting right prices, right? So many of the products that what we buy are with the maximum retail price, right? But the farmers are not having a maximum retail price for what they are growing and what they are selling. It is more of a minimum selling price, right? So that is the fate here, and the new laws have to change the things in that way. The way how we trade should change. The traditional mandis and all the other things should be minimized or reduced to have a fair price in the market, right? So this is how this is how the agricultural scenario in India is completely changing. But now, what is that we are going to do with the adoption of technology in agriculture is there are a lot of agricultural apps that are existing, especially in Tamil Nadu and Andhra and Karnataka, where we have agricultural forums. The people will talk about agriculture, the problems in agriculture, the solutions for a problems in this agriculture. They have crop information, which crop is better, which crop is not better in this particular season. There are experts who give advice to you. So during this season, you grow this. During this season, you should not grow this. This is the quantity of the urea or pesticides that should be used. This is the quantity of water that should be used, right? So drip irrigation, how to make the drip irrigation. There are experts who can help you, right? These are all the things that are available in the agricultural apps now. We have dealer information, we have fertilizer management, how to use, what to use, what is the quantity to be used, right? So what are the different pests that are there in the in it, and what is the what is the what is that you have to use as a part of the eradication of the pest, right? So on the right side, if you see that there is one particular app that we am referring to here by name Napanta, which has been very successful, where we have around 250,000 farmers are using this particular app and are using it on their daily purpose for their agricultural activities, right? So for their agriculture purpose, especially this app has the cold storage information, the fertilizer dealers in a particular district or in a particular place. It has linked to the crop insurance. It has information about the equipment dealers, the tractors, JCBs, or transporters who especially work for the agricultural side alone, right? So these are all the various things that are coming up in the agricultural side, and then the digitalization of the agriculture is being seen in the villages now, right? So the farmers, especially between 25 to 45 years of age, they are using their mobile phones to switch on their motors. They are using their mobile phones to switch off the motors, right? They might be like 30-40 kilometers away, but they are not going to the farm or the agricultural place and fields and then switching on the motor. They are doing a remote monitoring of the soil. They are doing a remote monitoring. They use cameras now, right? So where the water is flowing, they are using sensors and remote controllers to divert the water in the farms as well, right? So this is how it has completely changed now. So it's more of the monitoring and controlling rather than the administering that now, right? So any questions over here? Okay, now
And take the last session.
yeah, sure, Jack. Yeah. So don't think that the engineering students have an opportunity only to get into IT or automobile, right? So there are a lot of opportunities now to explore even in the agriculture side or the rural side. So you have your own opportunity to set up something new. You try to aspire to be an entrepreneur, think of your own, right? So the lot many entrepreneurs currently in India, we talk about startups, right? So many startups are actually coming from a normal colleges only, the colleges like yours, right? So they have a concept, they improve upon it, they reach out to the venture capitalists, right? So that's how the opportunities in the tier 2 and tier 3 cities can be improved upon, right? So no one, it's see, when there are not many opportunities in the market, you create your own opportunity in the area where it is interested to you, right? Sorry. Yeah. So you see, especially in terms of the digitalization in marketing, that's what you see. There is there are a lot of things that happens in a 1 minute in internet, right? So you see all these particular things, and from there we are moving up to the 6 stages of the digital transformation that happens in the organization, right? Now if you see, the marketing scenario has completely changed from the yesterday's marketing what we talk about, right? So the yesterday's marketing is more of the brand or a company is on the one side and the customer is on the other side. Now in the current digital world, the customer is in the middle, so customer is getting all the information about the product much before the launch of a product, right from the day when it is getting manufactured or right from the day when it is getting created. The customer is aware of this particular product, right? So you get an ad, you get a much advanced notification. You see it you see it, you have a Facebook page or you have a Twitter page of that particular product, or you will have an advertisement in your Amazon or in Flipkart that that Samsung is releasing this particular model on 20th of March at 9 o'clock. So pre-book it, right? So this is the typical example that you are seeing nowadays, right? So the gap in terms of having a knowledge on a particular product or the gap in terms of availability of a particular product in the market has completely changed. We are not going to market to select a product. We see all the products, we see the reviews, we see the specifications of a product, we compare it with another competitors in the market at our home, in our mobile or in our laptop, and then go to market only to see the aesthetics of it, so to see the quality of a particular product, and then we purchase it in online or we purchase it in offline. So the time to purchase a product has completely changed now. If I have to tell you what is actually currently happening, right? There are two things that happens especially in the marketing. One is the awareness, the customer retention. So each and every channel that what you see over here, the media channel, has a different key metrics that is giving to you, right? So the Facebook is for a different purpose, the YouTube is for a different purpose. So many companies, they have their own Facebook page, they have their own Twitter, YouTube page, right? So they have their own LinkedIn page. They take all the statistics, they take all the analytics, right? How many number of people have viewed it, how many number of likes we got, how many number of shares they got it, right? So how many number of comments they got it, what are the comments that are coming up, right? So it's for the new product or for an existing product as well. So what about a company, whether this company is getting is a good one or not, whether a particular laptop model or whether a particular mobile model is good or not. So we see all the reviews, we see the 3.5 star or 4-star rating in a website, and then we are able to purchase it. See the changes in the digital world also. In the last 1 year, due to the pandemic, we have not seen many theaters that are opened, right? So many big heroes, especially like Vijay or other people, they have gone for Netflix. They have released their pictures even in internet directly rather than in the traditional cinema theaters, right? So people watched movies only based on the ratings. If it is a 3.5 rating, they say that as a flop. If it is a 4 rating, it's a good, it's a hit, right? So that is how the scenario has completely changed, right? So the number of clicks, the number of connects, the number of engagements that they are making is everything is being counted now. We have digital adwords, right? So digital advertisements that happens from there. What is it currently happening in the world is, from a traditional old sales model of a cold call or a lead generation or a qualifying leads, we have completely moved from that place. That's completely stopped now. We are trying to have a new sales model where every company, every product, every model, every service has a social network. We are engaging with the customers and we are educating them to use a product. This is our new product, this is how you have to use the product, this is the advantage of using a particular product, right? Now, if you see, every one of us here might have experienced the online purchase or online sales, right? So the more we involve in this, the more we see the benefits. So the involvement and benefits are directly related to what we do. That is directly related to the motivation in purchasing. So what do you do when you purchase a product? So we see the convenience, price, promotion, we compare it, and the availability of the product. Now, there are a lot of products that are available in the market, especially the IoT devices, right? So if you go to the biggest realty companies in the market, right? They sell the apartments. The apartments are not sold for the kind of construction, but for the amenities that they are providing, right? So every house is having a camera at the front, right? So the person, they don't need to open the door, they can interact directly with the opposite person by a video and then talk to them. Only after then, when they are comfortable, they can open the door. So a camera is being fitted both at the outside and inside of the door, right? So now you are able to operate your entire all the devices at your home, either a fan or a tube, through a remote now, right? So we have all these things that are coming up into the market. So every new invention that has its own advantage. We are trying to show either a convenience, or we are showing that it is comparably, this is our product is the best, right? Take any product currently in the market, these are all the 5 features that what you see. Based on this 5, you will be able to purchase it. You see you see one of the best cars. Why Tesla is coming up with a concept called as driverless cars? They are showing the convenience, they are showing the comparison. So you don't need a driver for that, right? So the GPS tracking, right? So these are the things that what they are trying to create new things to the people. One is the trust, and what is the usefulness that you are getting by using a particular product. They are inducing you to purchase a particular product, right? So this is how, in terms of the marketing scenario, the technology in the current scenario is completely changing the marketing. Now, when it comes to digitalization in HR, right? So the way how HR in the past has completely changed. HR was only watching, sorry, HR was merely the transactional process. It's currently now, right? So it's more of a web forms, it's more of an application. But now, if you go into the future, near future, especially after 5-10 years, right? So many interviews might happen only through digital, right? So by seeing your face, AI integrated interviews, right? So artificial intelligence, just by scanning your face, they will be able to tell how stressed you are, whether you are telling right or wrong, right? So these are the capabilities that we are coming up, that the industry is actually experiencing. It's more of a human centered and experience driven design rather than a process oriented, right? So you don't need to take an interview by phone, by going to a particular place and then do it. So the last 1 year has changed, and the last 1 year has given many opportunities, especially in the HR, where the onboarding is also happening through digital. So you don't need to go to your office when the offices are completely closed, right? So the new talent acquisition, especially the HR process, is not selecting a right candidate and then putting it onto the job, right? It's more of a brand. They are selling the brand of a company. They are telling that the employees who are working in our company, they have a very good work life balance, they are very good. So now, even if you see, in the last 3-4 years have completely changed, especially in Naukri as well, right? So if you log into Naukri also, It's more of a brand that they are selling about the company. The newspaper ads for the openings also, they put an employee of that particular company and tell that this is what it is. The best example for that is a Daikin air conditioners. One of the employees over there they have an the employee of that company saying that I work for Daikin, right? They are proud to say that they are building a brand of it, right? That is how it has completely changed now. Whether it's a banking or whether it's a financial services or any other thing, it's completely changing. So you from a 1900s of to sorry from 1990 2000, where everything is being automated in HR. From there we are we integrated we integrated many applications, many processes, and we are trying to engage with the employees. So we are trying to see the performance of the employees. The data analytics was speaking, especially between 2012 and 17, right? What is the performance of an employee in the last 5 years or 10 years, whether he is eligible for promotion or not? What is the percentage he is eligible for? What are the other roles that are there, right? From there we are showing that we are taking the productivity, we are taking the performance of a particular person, we are taking the performance of a team, we are taking the performance of a particular a leader, right? And how he can better perform, what are the roles that he can perform, right? So currently in my company, I'm working as a project manager, right? I get at least like 5 or 6 other roles that as a project manager you're also eligible for this particular thing. So you have changed like 3 or 4 roles, and from there you might be eligible for a different roles, and you want to explore it, you want to apply for it, go for it. So the companies are also giving an opportunity to learn, to explore, and to succeed as well, right? So this was not there in the past, right? So the HR process, the HR conditions have completely changed now. Let's come to the current core topic of what we actually are looking out for. The 10 core skills of a life skills that what we that are required for any particular person. These are the 10 that without this, it is very unlikely that you get a job or you succeed in a job, right? So what you are doing, that is, it's a self awareness. You should have an empathy, the critical thinking, the creative thinking, and the decision making. So there is no alternate for this, right? So no technology can replace these particular things, right? It's that is why I always say that the knowledge and skills are more important. Technology is an enabler, we need to learn it, but the skills and the habits are more important for any particular person. This cannot be taught, this has to be practiced, this has to be habituated to it. Now, what is that we are, as a future citizen, right? As a digital future citizen, many things are digital. How am I going to sustain, how am I going to succeed in the market? By getting a job or by betting it? What is that we are going to do? So I would sincerely suggest you to build a professional resume. Don't copy paste from somewhere. Go for a LinkedIn profile, connect with the HRs or connect with the recruiting companies or recruiting people in the companies. Try to sell yourself, try to market yourself, right? So give a self introduction to them, saying that follow some of the companies, follow some of the skills, follow some of the pages, follow some of the groups. That is how you will be able to know what is actually happening there. So interview preparation is not a one day job, right? It's a process. Even after taking 15 interviews or 20 interviews, or even after working for 18 years also, I might fail in an interview, right? It's not a failure on me, it's a failure at that particular point of the time. Either I would not be in a position to communicate my skills or my capabilities or my strengths or weaknesses to the interviewer, or the situation and the circumstances might be different, right? It's not a person matching to your job, that's wrong. It's a person matching to the attitude and the expectation of that particular interviewer, and the job role is most important, right? So you have to prepare for that particular interview, and then sorry, yeah, the verbal and non-verbal communications makes a lot of changes, right? So you have to be very careful while attending for interviews. Today um, I was seeing one of these statuses, right? So 95% of the things, the problems are only with the voice and the tone, that what we speak and what we convey. This is from our Prabha madam, who is over here, right? So the 5% is only our thinking. If you change the 95%, you will achieve 100%, right? So the way how you think, that is what we call it as a trikarana shuddhi. That's what our elders say, right? So that if you change your voice and the modulation and the tone, you will be able to achieve anything. That's exactly the communication skills that what you need to develop. Now from there, what is that we are going to do here? Sorry. Yeah, you have a problem in the communication when you lack a knowledge, when you don't have a knowledge on a particular thing. So when you're not comfortable in speaking, right? So the more you are confident, you get confidence only when you have a lot of knowledge, when you have an all-round knowledge, when you have knowledge from all these four sides, right? That's what our Rigveda says, right? So let noble thoughts come to us from all the sides. Ano badraha ratoboyantu vishvataha. Right? So knowledge is not an end. So even an 80 years or a 90 years person also strive to get more knowledge. Not because of to show that he has knowledge, but to be a self-sustained, to be confident. Right? So that is where you improve your motivation, you get more motivation, right? So these are the specially. Now are you listening is what sometimes we ask to ourselves, not to others. Then what is lacking over there? So the effective listening checklist is ask questions, repeat other times, repeat n number of times if someone is not able to understand, validate properly whether you whatever that you are speaking is right or wrong. Tailor it means you customize it accordingly to that, right? So based on the opposite person, you need to speak, you need to add, you need to construct your words. It's not that easy, and it's not so difficult if you practice it, right? Especially this comes in especially when you are talking in front of a group, or in or if you're on a stage, you feel all this or you experience all this, right? Now how you will feel confident when you are smiling on the stage, or in a group, among the group of people. The facial expressions, the gestures, the posture, that means the way how you stand, the way how you walk, and the eye contact makes a lot of difference here, right? Now, sorry. Yeah, your voice, you need to be good at your tone, the pitch, that way the way how you improve, you reduce it, you increase it, or you reduce it. You need to know where to pause, how to pause, when to pause, the voice modulation, the pronunciation, everything matters, either in interview or in a process of communicating to others as well. That is where people give people have confidence on you, people will trust you, right? Take it my word as granted. Whether you are right or wrong, the way how you communicate makes lot of difference in your work life. Especially people trust you when you talk with an example, people trust you when you show the data to them, this is how it is, right? So people start giving more work to you, means it doesn't mean that you are not the person only working, because they trust you as the only source of truth. That is where you should feel confident, you should feel proud of it. Not that I'm not getting more work, not because I only can work, but people trust me for what I do. To gain the trust is very difficult. If you are there, that is where the learning path, that is where the success is, right? The success is not in terms of the money, that the success is not in terms of achieving a particular role, the success is in terms of gaining a trust from the opposite person, right? So when you are going for an interview, you have to be very careful, and you cannot go to interview with this, right? Now it all depends on the facial expressions and the haircut that what we have, right? So the uniform should also be in proper. And when it comes to the negotiation skills, we have to be very careful while negotiating it. The negotiation should be for a win-win situation, it should not be for a win and loss situation, right? It should not become an argument, right? So the opposite person should win, and we also should win. That is how it should be. It should be a settlement. It should not be an argument, right? So we have to be very prepared when you're going for a salary negotiation, especially, or for any job negotiation. The information should be actually for a sharing. You should not be like a bargaining kind of thing, and you should be able to close the deal. That is where the sales comes into picture. That is where, if you go to any bank especially, right? So the branch manager, he always wanted to finalize the deal. He do not want to send any customer out of the branch without taking a positive commitment. That is where the negotiation comes into, right? So not every person goes and speak to the branch manager. We go to the branch, we go to a to the teller to either you deposit or take it out and you come back. But very less of the people go to the branch manager. There is a 90% of the success, or closing a particular deal, getting a loan or sanctioning a loan for a person who goes and meet the branch manager, because they know how to negotiate it and they are best at it, right? So now you can correlate whatever that I am saying, right? So I have many friends of mine in my classmates who are very good at negotiation, and they are getting a good name, not because of the other things, but because of their nature, but because of their attitude and habits, right? So you have to improve upon your skills, and yeah, especially the interpersonal skills. The emotional intelligence is most important out of any other things. The knowledge that what you have, the way how you control yourself, the motivation that you have to take it up something new or to explore something new, the empathy and the social skills that what you have makes you a better person and a better employee in the organization, right? So you always try to be a leader rather than just following a particular person. The more you read, the more you interact with the people, the more people you give more trust to the people. That is where the leaders are born. Leaders are not born just like an overnight, right? So they are they strive for it. They do a lot of hard work. They cry many times, they console themselves many times, but they learn the mistakes very fast. They don't repeat the mistakes whatever that they have done, right? So that is how, as a student, you also have to be very careful. At this particular point of the time, this is the best time for us to learn and move to the next level, right? So be a guest always. That is what guest means. They greet people, tell them hi, vanakkam, எப்படி இருக்கீங்க, right? The way how you smile and talk to people, the opposite person should feel very happy for that, right? So whenever I talk to someone, I was not practicing that personally, right? So even in the office till 2016 or 17, and from then I started practicing it. Whenever I talk to people in the office or even outside, right? So I always greet them, and that's where people will feel very happy as well, right? They might be in 100 problems, they might be in a different stress. If you wish opposite person, they at least say like a good morning or good evening, right? So they forget many things, they forget the pain in there, right? Now, so the public speaking especially is an art, and it's not such easy. And we have our Vijay over here, who is an expert, who can address like 1,000 2,000 people also at a time, but not many of us are, right? So it is a natural talent that comes up, right? So it's not that easy. Influencing a person or creating a motivation or giving a particular information at a right pace and a right time and the right content, and how you translate that to the benefit of the opposite to the audience, and with an entertaining pace, is also very very important, right? So you need to practice it. It's a lot of hard work. You at least need to put like 3 to 4 years of your dedicated time. That means you have to invest your time on this, right? So we have like stage fright, and we have to come out for this. And there's a lot of people fear for a public speaking. To do that, you need to have an effective communication. You need to prepare yourself by doing a research and all the other things. And uh, and last but not least is, what you have to do is, it's more of the eye contact is very very important. And you have to go through whatever that you have writing, you have prepared for it, and the appropriate gestures, whether it a handshake or a greeting, it has to be very very accurate, very firm. And then you have to involve the audience when you are in a public gathering and a public address, right? So this is where the pink comes into picture. That is public speaking and all the other things. Now, let me go back to whatever that we have done till now, in terms of the cash and pink are interrelated to each other. That's how you correlate to what you do, what you think should always be connected to each other, right? So now, Vijay, I'm done for the day, and I
Thank
would it would be open for any questions.
Yeah, thank you, Mahesh, and thank you one and all. It was like a marathon, Mahesh. Lot of insights and lot of ideas. Got the title as Innovation Strategies, Efforts, and Rise with Pink and Cash. I was I was a bit nervous, like how you are going to sum it up, but you summed it up very well in terms of what are the key takeaways for the students and also for overall audience who are watching this show. So some ideas or some concepts which made me to feel like wow or like digital agriculture. So probably a term that I learned today and the guest, and that was awesome and will do, can do, can't encourage, elevate, evaluate, and eliminate. Awesome concept. So I will leave the floor open to students. Students can ask their questions in the chat box if they would like to have, or anyone can use the chat box and ask the questions. So I was inquisitive. I wanted to ask this question, Mahesh. How do you feel the response for rural marketing when you teach rural marketing to people?
It is still in the infancy stage, Vijay, but it's not a learning, right? It's a practice. I have seen at least like around 10, 10 to 12 rural entrepreneurs literally utilizing the digital marketing, digital media, and selling, and then getting the benefits out of it. I have seen
That
that in agriculture. I have seen that in retail, and I have seen that in especially in the manufacturing sector as well, right? So a person who is doing an organic farming in a remote place, and just very remote place, right? So he started using the IoT devices to monitor the crop health and other things, and he doesn't go to his field at all. He stays at least like 60 kilometers away from the place, and he monitors it. He with a remote control, he power on the motor, he power off the motor at night 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock, because that is where the time you have the three phase electricity, right? So there are a lot of good things, especially.
that's wonderful. Like another extension curious. How is their learning capabilities? Like when it comes to learning kind of concepts,
நீ
are they
ஆஃப் பண்ணி ஆஃப் பண்ணி
learn?
வச்சிருக்கியா? எனக்கு ஆனே பண்ண முடியல மைக்க.
I think there is a background.
ஆனே பண்ண முடியலடா மைக்க. இப்ப நான் என்ன பண்றது? நெட் சரி நான் என்ன பண்ண முடியும்? ஏன் லூசு?
Can you just unmute the concerned person who is
Unmute the person.
yeah. So how is the learning ability, Mahesh? Like learning capabilities and abilities when it comes to these kind of things, like modern concepts and things like that.
Yeah, there is a specific way, Vijay, that can be achieved. So we are trying to reach out to the respective village administration officers, and then call all the respective people in a particular office or in a particular village, and then trying to educate them and encourage them and show them that this is what is the benefit. So we are still in the infancy stage. We have approached the district collectorate office to provide an opportunity to interact with the agricultural officers of the district first, and then tell them that these are the apps that can be used by the farmers for the betterment. And then we are going there. It's just still in the infancy stage, but you guys have actually helped me in one of the sessions that what we have done way back in 2019 September for a digital marketing and digital rural entrepreneurship program. Some of the entrepreneurs visited our workshop, and then have taken some of the concepts, and they started utilizing the concepts as well, right? So um, lot of new things are happening, and things are seeing, especially in the last 1 year during the pandemic. The rural entrepreneurs are also started using the websites and then selling their products through the various e-commerce websites as well, which we have seen and which we have seen experienced that as well.
Oh, thank you, Mahesh, and I'm very happy to inform you that JNN Group has got a engineering degree program title B in agricultural engineering. So this is one of the going forward plan from the institution. So we would request you to advise us on the topics in the agricultural field. That would be of great use if you could render your expertise on this.
I may not be an expert in this, but would definitely help with the right people, because I know there are a couple of companies uh, people who are experts in the agriculture who are making a lot of positive impact. I'll say, for example, Mendu Srinivas of eFresh, or Kisan Sati in Bangalore, Prem Rathod, and Napanta Naveen. So I can introduce all these experts to them. They can interact with them and can get benefit out of it. Though I might
That's
not be an expert in that.
That would be wonderful, Naveen. And I'm handing over the session to Dr. Rajalakshmi Madam, the principal of JNN Arts and Science Women's College, share her experience about the session. Over to you, ma'am. Now.
Thank you, Sriram sir. A pleasant morning to one and all gathered here for this student competence enhancement and industry readiness program organized by the J.N.N Institute of Engineering and J.N.N Arts and Science Women's College, along with the right to enhance the student skill and make them ready for the industry. A warm welcome and a deep sense of gratitude I owe to the guest of the day, Dr. Mahesh Pavan Sathavalli, for sparing his time among our students and accepted to illuminate our students with his experience. So your presentation was really thought-provoking and also dealt with the various skills that is required for the success, especially the shades of people, tips on marketing, management to team, and work team. And also you gave a brief clarification of the core skills that are required under WHO, and also a few tips on interview preparations that will definitely make the students and take them the students in the right way. I think the students would have got a lot of takeaways with this informative session. My heartfelt thanks are also to the college management team, the chairman, Sri S. Jayachandran, vice chairman, Mr. Naveen Jayachandran, the principal, Dr. J. Gunasegaran, J.N.N Institute of Engineering, Mr. Sitaraman's assistant professor, Department of Civil Engineering, and all the faculty members. My thanks are also due to the right team, the CEO, Mr. Vijayanand Sriram, the program in charge, Mr. Pradeep, and Ms. Prabha, for organizing such a enthusiastic and informative talk series for the students community. Finally, I thank all the participants, the students, and the staff who would have got a handful of information which will help them to mold them better. Would like to have much more sessions in the future to come. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was like a crown on capping the entire program. And last but not the least, thank you, Mahesh. It's been a wonderful journey with you, right from the college days to till now. And you have been one person who is trying to kind of lead the rural marketing campaign and help the farming community to rise. I always believe in this strong concept like India's backbone agriculture. And agriculture's backbone should be a proper communication of the products offered by the farmers to the community, so that we also are looked at. Say, for example, if you look at China, Japan, they are very good in electronics. So they the campaigning plan, like they develop the product, they research about the need, they develop the product, they sell the product in the market, and also they advertise themselves properly. So if you look at any country for that matter, whatever has been their primary business format, they have the ability to market it properly. And India being one of the value-based country has been slightly lagging on this particular aspect of marketing what they have very strong. So I would call you as a campaigner this particular movement, and along with you, a lot of other people are campaigning to market right kind of product to the market. Like our backbone agriculture product has to be marketed globally in a proper format, wherein the agriculturalists and people involving in agriculture are making good money and profit. So this has been a campaign for you, and I'm very happy because personally I have seen you doing a lot of charity activities, lot of programs during Corona and regularly, and you have taken it up as your passion. Okay, not many will be able to do. People with like settle down with their job and lucrative salaries and things like that. In the process, you have been able to spend time for educating the farming community and make sure that their product reaches the market with the right price and right profit. So thank you once again, and I thank J.N.N Management, Chairman, Chairman, the Principal of Arts and Science, Principal of Engineering, faculty members, and students who have who are passionately taken up this program and attending the program. I thank my RIPE team, the project manager Jasna, the program lead manager Prabha, the program execution manager Pradeep, and the entire RIPE for working closely with the institution to do this talk series. Last but not the least, I thank all who is actively participating and watching live stream program of JNN Rise Success. JNN Rise, Script Your Success, Students, Industry Readiness and Competence Enhancement Program. 10 weeks, 10 programs, 10 speakers, one goal to make the students industry ready. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you, team. And all the best, students.
Thank you, sirs.
We will
Students, kindly fill the feedback form which is being shared in the YouTube link. You can take some time to share your feedback with the speaker so that we will all be delighted. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
thank you so much.